everybody out there in the land of YouTube. I am here. Way too warm and somewhat frustrated because I had this set up on StreamYard and once again it did not work. So, just take a deep breath and a sip of a cold drink. It's reflective of the times that we're in. You know, you do the right thing, you have good intentions, you really do your best, and you still get kicked, right? So anyway, what happened was, I was kind of liking StreamYard because contrary to YouTube, I'm not going to complain, I swear, they actually send you a notification on StreamYard. So I thought, you know, and this has happened twice now. It's happened twice so far. I have it all set up on StreamYard, good to go. And then I go on, and it will buffer. The dark side works through technology. Just saying. Anyway, I hope you're doing all right. And I have the door open because it's really hot in here. It's not as bad as it was last week, but I just want to have a breeze. I'll close it a little bit because it will get noisy. What I do for you all? I'm not answering that, Warren Green. I already told you I wasn't going to read on this bill. And I already said enough about it. And I think part of that is not because I'm just being a little bitch. It's because I really want to get us engaged in the reality that we're creating the reality. Yes. Thank you, Warren. So if we can shift out of this sense of what's going to happen, I wonder what's going to happen, I wonder what I said before, and this is just, you know, we're all friends here. We come here because we like each other. And it's fun. What I said about this bill, and I really get clear guidance. We need to get out of the mindset, and this is a collective thing, the mindset of, I wonder what they're going to do to us. And we need to get into the mindset of, I wonder what we're going to do to save us. And that's why I said a couple days ago, I'm not going to read on the murder bill, and that this bill doesn't matter. You live in the reality that you wish to have. We're creating the reality. So I'm not yelling at you or anything. I'm just making a point. I really want to see, this is my own desire, I really want to see people in the mindset of what are we going to do about it, and not what are they going to do to us. Because I think it's very clear what they're going to do to us, and it's getting shocking how base and evil they are. It's getting shocking. Electrostorm is already on the next dimension having a good time. So here's the kind of the paradox, is that I feel something good is going to happen. Yeah, sorry about the technological glitches. The dark side messes with my technology. It's my story. Whatever happens, we have to get that what we're dealing with is abject evil. And good things will come. But the good things will come. I think all the time of when Kathy Beale keeps saying astrologically, we could have had an off-ramp there. We could have had an off-ramp there. We couldn't have had an off-ramp there. And I truly believe that we need to train our brains to be like, we are going to make this bill stop. Right? Yes, I'm back. And by the way, I'll always make a valiant attempt to come back when I'm having technological difficulties. I don't quit easily. I'm grateful for my Moon in Taurus. It comes in handy. You got locked out, but you're back? Yeah. So I hope you understand my perspective on that. I really want to sort of train us all, us, not just you, to be in the mental space of what are we going to do about this. Because I think that we've seen enough at this point. I think like Murkowski, I keep thinking about Lisa Murkowski, WTFing-F. If she's that scared to serve her constituents, she should quit. All right, what I'm going to tell you about how, Lisa's asking how we manifest something better. You're all here, right? We do it all the time. We do a guided meditation for a Healed America once a week. There are recordings from 3 years ago, if you were with us for Grassroots of Democracy. I have generated about 300 guided meditations for a Healed America, I'm estimating. Every single week for the past 3.5 years, during Church of Spirituality, close to the beginning, we have an affirmative, intentional, what we call a prayer treatment, stating what we want to be so as if it's already so. I just want you to understand that I'm doing as much as I possibly can to get us out of this mindset. I wonder what they're going to do. It's now I wonder what we are going to do. And I hope you understand that. We all understand that. I'm looking at my phone to see the name of this organization that I went to a Zoom meeting, and I'm just looking for what it's called. It was called She Won. And I'll post more about it when I get more information. So there was a meeting from 4 to 5 p.m. earlier. I'm glad you all understand my perspective. You just watched all the Democrats talking about the murder bill. They need 4 Republicans to vote against the bill. We need to activate way more. So it was called She Won, and there was some really great data, and I'll talk more about that because the meeting just happened. You watched it? Yeah, good. Okay. It was really, really good. The data is there. Kamala won in a landslide. And we need to do something about that. So it looks like a few of you did watch that. And that's the wave that we need to ride. They've already made it clear who they are. I'm going to read you something from a book called An Exorcist Explains the Demonic. And I'm not going to say you have to order this book because there's a lot of Catholic beliefs about things like what I do and that I don't agree with. But I'm just gonna read you this. Written by a demonologist priest. Yeah, Kamala does know that she won. It is not necessary to become a Satanist in order to serve the devil and become one of his followers. There are many, alas, who do not officially consecrate themselves to Satan, but choose to follow his basic principles, and as a result they place their souls at great risk. The powers that come from Satan. One might wonder what powers the devil gives to his devotees, along with the indecipherable sufferings. There is an interminable list. Some powers are clearly of a diabolical origin, others require some discernment. Typical powers that are the direct consequences of the sale of one's soul to the devil and of the Satanist adopted identity at consecration. These are signs of somebody sold their soul to the devil. Like my glasses? riches, free sex, and unlimited power. At the beginning, everything comes easily and seems to be a great and beautiful affair, but all of it involves false illusions. Not long afterward, indescribable sufferings take over. Signs of the devil has taken them for a ride, because his objective is to make you a slave and ruin your life. I'll read you more from this book at a later date. Grace means that, one of the signs of grace is that we have a really wonderful Pope who's from Chicago. So we have spiritual support. And I don't take that like it's not a big deal. It's a really, really big deal. Let's take a look at some things. Did it have to get this bad? That's a question we might be asking ourselves. Did it have to get this bad? Now, I don't know technically when the bill, theoretically when it would actually go into effect, but we're not going to let it go into effect. What do you call a bell with a watch on it? A waste of time. We're so glad you're here. I'm about ready to go jump in the ocean. Did it have to come to this? Or could we have gotten there some other way? Or did it have to come to this? All right. It had to come to this. Hello. It had to come to this. Right? Nobody's going to save us. We have to save ourselves. Let's ask if we're going to see the Democrats really starting to really raise a ruckus. I have a yes that the Democrats are going to raise a ruckus. Oh, this is interesting, Darren, what you have to say about Lisa Murkowski. She's the one that's going to suffer the most from her constituents. She's going to be getting her karma. British Columbia, Canada is shutting down the highways that go through Canada to get to Alaska. Keep your elbows up. Yep. Yep. The Democrats are going to be on fire. That includes all of us. And it doesn't matter if a person is a D or an R. This is about whether we get to survive. Why are vampires so easy to fool? Because they are suckers. The Dems are raising hell right now in the House, so proud. And I've heard them call the Capitol right now. What's going on in that room? I've heard them refer to it, not just one person, not just one Democrat, as a crime scene. Murder is a crime. Now, let's take a look at mainstream media. Because what is known to happen historically is when a catastrophe happens, 9/11, January 6th. I don't think they had TV in Pearl Harbor when that happened. When terrible things have happened. Well, the deceptive media is a fairly recent development. When terrible catastrophes happen, the networks do an about face, and they did. I'm talking about something more sudden. Because COVID, the mainstream media they didn't do a very good job with that. I mean, sudden national tragedies. I don't know about Mount St. Helens, but what I do want to say is that, more like, oh my God, we're under attack events. They all of a sudden get serious. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about, is mainstream media going to do an about face now that these demons, I'm going to just call them demons, now that these demons Because what else do you call a person who's going to take somebody who's vulnerable and take away the thing that's keeping them alive? Take away the medication that's keeping them alive. Take away the oxygen tank that's keeping them alive. Take away the nursing home or the hospitals that are keeping them alive. What else do you call these people that are voting for that? They're demons. They're influenced by the demonic. Oklahoma City, yeah, that counts. An attack. When there's an attack, mainstream media does an about face if they've been, gaslighting people. They do an about face. And back during Oklahoma, that's Oklahoma City bombing, it wasn't as corrupt as it is now, the mainstream media. Cash cannibals, that's an interesting way to put it. In the face of basically what this murder bill does is suddenly all these people are going to die. Right? If it happened, suddenly millions of people would die. Time for a dad joke. Why is England the wettest royal country? Because too many kings and queens reigning there. Some nights we really need you, Thomas. We need your dad jokes. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about what mainstream media is going to do in the face of this disaster. That's ongoing. And you know what? And I'm not going to not read on the bill entirely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the energy around the bill. That's been working pretty well. Mainstream media. Thank you for being here. Please hit the thumbs up. It's Wednesday. We're not going to hit 200 people in the room. Likely not. All my hard work and I don't get more views. My number of subscribers is dropping. I think that's a YouTube thing. Thank you, Zircon. And I'm scraping by, but I'm still going. Quitting is not in my vocabulary. What's mainstream media going to do? I hold for motorcycles. King of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Four of Wands. Well, what I see is when this information about Kamala 1 comes out, they're going to want to cover that story. I know it's hard to believe. But they will be the ones that want to be the ones that tell the story. So that actually... No, we won't get to 200 likes, Michael. No way. The Four of Wands. Now, this is surprising to me. Because what I see is that mainstream media does a bit of an about face. Is it right away? Well, from a human standpoint, all those people that work for mainstream media, they have family members, and we all have family members that are vulnerable, and if we don't, we will. Right? But keep in mind this. Let's just consider this. If people tuned in more, like I'm getting guidance, if people tuned in more to the good news, if that sold, if there were more eyeballs on good things, then they would promote more good things. And I think we're in a time right now where you're craving good news, right? If you had a YouTube channel and you put in your title, great news, it'd be interesting. Maybe I'll do that. Like PNN, great news. It'd be interesting to see if more people would gravitate towards that now, due to the times that we're in. So it looks like there's going to be a bit of a turnaround of the mainstream, lamestream media. Not Jake Tapper. Now, Dumpy is going after CNN. Because of course he is. I'm going to open this a little bit. It's just humid. It's not that hot, it's just humid. It's a very heavy door. I have a seagull neighbor up there. She's up there all day at the top of like a telephone pole. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I feel mainstream media is actually going to start to cover what's really going on. They're people too. Electrostorm, I'm way too hot to be arguing. I know they've been carrying water for him. And I love you. I'm just hot. Yeah, it's good to watch other news sources. Did I hear about the girl who fell off a fourth deck of a Disney cruise? I think I did hear about that. A man jumped in and they both were saved. See, there's good stories. There's good news stories. And as we're going through this time that we're in, I mean, my guidance says that people's hearts are going to be busted open with compassion. And that's why I think that I see the mainstream media is going to start turning a little bit. Yeah, Watch Nothing sponsored by Murdoch. But I feel like Fox is even turning. You like cooking shows? I said earlier, my pop-up, I was making, I had to cook up this fried eggplant because it was ready to cook. And you know, it was time. It's so hot. But cooking is good. Alright, so I'm going to pull 3 cards about the state of America. I like watching public television too, yeah. Thank you, Dale. I really love this country. By the way, tomorrow I'm going to spend some time making signs to walk in the local parade here, which is, here it's tomorrow. Make signs that say Kamala won, okay? Okay, the state of America. The state of the people of America. 5 of Swords, yes, it's highly challenging. A lot of people are in shock right now. Just because they're kind of getting wind of what's going on, finally. Knight of Wands. I see the American people are really, they're waking up big time. I have the Sun card. The Knight of Wands, that's us fighting back. I feel like the Democrats in Congress are going to lead the way in fighting back. The 5 of Swords, we're seeing the dire circumstance that they're trying to put us in the 9 of Pentacles. I really think that the American people have got their you-know-what together. We're getting there. Rural America should be waking up, yes, because when they catch wind of the fact that their Medicaid and Medicare will be taken away, I mean, that alone, they're just taking away Medicaid and Medicare. If it was just that, you wouldn't believe how heinous, right? How horrible that is. The farmers are waking up. People are waking up. So true to what the guides told me on November 6th, 2024, we need this time period for MAGAs to wake up, to get out of the cult. And it's interesting, Jim McGovern from my state and others in Congress are calling it a cult. No matter what the Donald wants, they say yes. What, you want us to kill people? Yes. It's that bad. Let's take a look at these nefarious cards. The Deviant Moon Tarot. And let's look at what what's going to happen to the MAGAs in Congress that are voting for this bill. Actually, yeah, I love Jim McGovern. He's great. He's so Massachusetts. More people are definitely waking up. And sometimes it happens really quickly. The New York Times published an article. Well, I haven't subscribed from them for a long time ago. Wouldn't have won anyway. Initially, it was based on bipartisan information that they had researched. Are you talking about a recent thing, Amanda? Because the New York Times turned into a gaslighting publication. But I do see people waking up. And then, you know, we have to demand that the mainstream media, we have to demand that the mainstream media start telling us the truth. Oh, yesterday. Okay. Yeah, so the New York Times is still at it. Being nefarious. We have to complain more and more and more. So the MAGAs in Congress that voted to kill people, and we have to talk about it that way. They voted to kill people. I know it sounds outrageous, but you know what? That's part of the whole shtick, is make it so outrageous that people just can't even believe that it's really true. There's a lot of people in this country on life-saving medication. The MAGAs in Congress that voted for the bill. Ooh. I can't show all of these because there's a lot of naked ladies in these cards. What Andy Bashir said about how what the murder bill would do to Kentucky. Yeah, it's true. I have the MAGAs in Congress that voted for this bill. They're really being tormented. They're really in a stalemate. Truth always comes out. Taco, I like that. The other Annette here. The MAGAs in Congress who voted for the bill thus far. I'll show you this much of this card. This is the Eight of Swords here. See, this is the Eight of Swords. That's the prison card. That's the prison card. I'm reading on the MAGAs in Congress that voted to murder people. I can get green leaf stickers to put on the cards. Oh, well, that's alright. King of Pentacles. They're being controlled by Russia. There it is. Oh no, I think Midas Touch started with the murder bill. I think they started it. I picked up on it. Gotta give credit where credit's due. When you speak two languages but start losing vocabulary in both of them, you become bilingual. I'm not gonna mess up my cards. I'm not gonna draw on my cards. Thanks though. I mean, it'd probably be fine. The King of Pentacles, they have fealty to Putin. They have fealty to Putin. So here's what I want to tell you. What I'm picking up really strongly is when the American people have great interest in all the publications that are publishing the truth, now that the truth is out, because you can't really hide a murder bill. It's kind of hard to hide that one. I feel like they're going to start giving the people what they want. And also, all these oligarchs, man, who do they think are going to buy their goods and services? Let's read on that. Because I quit Amazon, and now that I've quit Amazon, everything to do with Amazon, I can't even imagine supporting Jeff Bezos, Mr. Let me buy the city of Venice. And it was beautiful what the people in Venice did in Greenpeace, which basically pressured him so much to move what he was doing to a different place. I don't know where he went. Do they not know that Putin also kills his loyalists? Yes. I know. Who's going to work for them? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull 3 more cards about the MAGAs in Congress. That clearly said they're feeling like they're feeling paralyzed. They're considering that if this all shakes out, when this all shakes out, they could be in prison. The Two of Swords is being like not knowing what to do, and the King of Pentacles is the Kremlin. They took money. Not only did they take money from the Kremlin, the MAGAs in Congress, and run to fascists. I just have to throw that in there. And many, many of them. Not only did they take money from the Kremlin, in 2018 they took a trip to the Kremlin on the 4th of July, 2018. All roads lead to Russia. Yeah, Venice trolled Bezos big time. It looks like the MAGA Republicans in Congress are they're recognizing how trapped they are. You remember the Russian trip? Yeah, how trapped they are because they pledged fealty to Satan. That's why I read this to you. They sold their souls, the soul sellers, to the devil. There's a great video montage on Facebook going around that shows how hard the immigrant farm workers work. Ain't no white boy's gonna do that shit. Is that you, Michael? I knew that. I mean, honestly. We all knew that, right? I mean, sometimes it takes the American public a little while to catch on. During Dumpy's fascist rally at Madison Square Garden, when I first saw all those signs that said deport migrants now, or deport immigrants now, I was stopped in my tracks when I saw that sign. I was just like, wow, we have crossed the Rubicon. That was a pivotal, in a very evil, bad way. That really like smacked me in the face. Like, oh my God, what are they saying? And what Putin wants is for America to be like the people in Congress are saying, the Democrats in Congress are saying, if this bill passes, this will be a crime scene. And they said, you might as well put yellow tape around it, this is crime scene. And Putin needs for Dumpy to destroy America, every single aspect of American life. That's what he needs. Dad joke, my son asked me if trees, what? Read Thomas's dad joke. And this is like an attack, right? This is the equivalent of what would happen if you were attacked by a foreign enemy, but it wasn't with bombs, it was with something else, right? Am I right? Can I get a witness? I'm gonna just say it again. What's going on right now? Blue Moon Tear agrees. What's happening now? What's being attempted now is it's like a bomb, but it's not an actual bomb. It's an attack by a foreign enemy. Think about a bomb going off in like Ukraine, right? The infrastructure is destroyed. Their government is pretty much, destroyed. People are killed. It's just the whole country just came apart, right? So what's happening to the United States is it's like Putin and the Kremlin are dropping a bomb of destruction that isn't an actual bomb, but it's the same effect. And it's no less than that. It's no less than an attempt to destroy fiber by fiber, to destroy the country of America. Let's take a look at what's going on there. Let's take a look. What's going on between Pootie and Dumpy right now? That's what I'm going to look at. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. If we get to 200 people in the room and 200 thumbs up, we'll do a group hug. Okay. Pootie and Dumpy. The puppet show. Now, Pootie is the, the marionette guy. The puppet master. Yeah, the attempt is to destroy us. Love you too, Josh. Their attempt is to destroy us to a point where we're not functional as a country. And then the plan is that Putin can take over and call America the Russian Federation of America. How many months have I been saying this? The Dumpy and Pootie Show. Page of Swords. There are whistleblowers. Oh yeah, they're running. I feel like the Pootie and Dumpy are kind of being cornered. The Tower card. Oh yeah. It's falling apart. The old tricks aren't working anymore. The old tricks aren't working anymore. Just Pootie and Dumpy. Five of Pentacles. This is destitute. That's Russia and Putin. The Page of Swords. Whistleblowers. There's whistleblowers everywhere right now. The Tower. Total disruption. This is Pootie and Dumpy. Trying to do their old tricks, but their old tricks have stopped working. It's not over, people. We are still a democracy. We are a democracy in absolute crisis. But we are still a democracy. I know, Maria. I know it started with Reagan. It started with the Citizens United. We really can't go back and rehash all that. And not for anything, but Ronald Reagan wasn't a demonic. He wasn't possessed by a demon. He was a puppet too. Will Anonymous drop something? I don't think it's just from Anonymous. I think a lot of it is with these investigations into the election. Is Anonymous going to be a major player in the reveal? I'm not getting that Anonymous is a major player. Ronald Reagan he was a puppet. And he also was an actor that had no business being in politics. And they rigged the election to make Carter lose. They created an Iran hostage crisis. Some things just keep happening. All right, let's pull 3 cards on particular nefarious characters. Who is the... Name some Republicans that are saying they're going to vote no on this, and I'll read on it. Yeah, Ronald Reagan was an actor. He was in the movies. I'm trying to think of the one that... Okay, Rand Paul is voting no. Is Chip Roy... So what I'm asking for is name some that said they're voting no. Chip Roy. Okay. And then we'll go to Ron Paul. Chip Roy. So basically what I'm looking at, it's Massey. That's the name I was trying to think of. I'm reading on Chip Roy first. Is he going to vote no? The Eight of Wands. I think he's going to cave. I think Chip Roy is going to cave. Because this is the Eight of Wands, but the first thing I saw when I looked at it was the Eight of Swords in my mind's eye. And the Five of... I'd be surprised if Chip Roy didn't vote for it. Because it looks like somebody pays him. Bribes him. Reagan had no business being an actor either. I don't know how good he was. Hang on. Okay, so now we'll read on Rand Paul. Is he going to stick to his guns? Rand Paul. 9 of Swords, he's losing sleep over it. Rand Paul is. 2 of Cups, somebody's going to try to do a deal with him. Is he going to take it? Uh-huh. 7 of Swords, yes. Why is he going to do that? Hopefully that changes. Is Rand Paul going to vote for the bill? I have a yes. Well, you know, there's one card there that had the 9 of Swords on it, and that's like a sleepless situation. So Rand Paul, not sleeping, really worried about what's going to happen to him if he votes no. The 2 of Cups, somebody makes a deal with him. If he votes yes, he's going to get something. And the 7 of Swords, that's the Thief card. I'm just telling you what I see. When do they vote again on the 4th of July? Josh Hawley already voted for it. Okay, let's read on some of the Democrats. Well, let's read on there was a meeting today for holdouts with Orange. That makes sense. So let's read on that. I didn't realize that. And then we'll read on some of the Democrats. Well, let's ask. Are they actually going to vote on the 4th? How patriotic. This is a fascist regime that wants people to not exist if they're for democracy. Did anybody that the Orange fell in have a meeting with today? Did they change their minds that they'll vote yes? I have a yes. They changed their minds that they're going to vote yes. Is it going to happen on the 4th of July? It doesn't look like it's going to happen on the 4th of July. So when's the vote in the House? I don't know. I'm just wondering if you all know when the House vote is. When's the House vote? Is it tomorrow? No. Is it the next day? On the 4th? No. Is it the next day? I'm not getting a yes on that. Is it this week? Are they going to vote? I'm getting to know that they're not going to vote this week. The House is debating now. They're trying now. Well, just keep in mind that the pendulum often reads the energy of the situation, which can be kind of confusing. Will they vote on it on the 7th? Will they vote on it today? It's all over the place. It's all over the place. It's not looking like, it's not clear when they're going to actually vote on this. All right, let's look at how the Democrats are doing. Let's pull some nice cards. Let's use the deck of character. Got cards all over my table here. Does everyone have a cold drink? You think something big is going to happen? Wildflower wind? I do too. Don't be demanded by the 4th. Well, I know he did demand that, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. We're talking about whether people live or die here. Well, I read on whether Netanyahu is coming here on Monday. I didn't know that was a plan. Is Bibi the criminal, is Bibi the war criminal going to come to Washington, D.C. on Monday? I haven't know. I get that he's going to be busy. Yeah. He's got a lot to think about. You're having hot chai tea? I'm having iced berry tea. So good. Super windy, where awesomeness is, soil is flying. Iced coffee, ooh, that's my favorite. You'd like to know if I see any problems we might have on the 4th. No, not reading them out. Sorry. What did the Tibetan monk say when he saw the face of Jesus in his tub of his tub of what? Margarine? I can't believe it's not Buddha. You heard he's going to ask Trump for more money. Wait, who's going to ask Trump for more money? I'm lost. Dale's having a cold beer. I ran out of my fake beers. I gotta go get some more. Okay, I'm gonna read on the Democrats in Congress. Okay, 3 cards. Democrats in Congress. Then I'm going to finish making eggplant parmesan. But I'm just going to put it, I'm going to construct it. I don't have to be cooking. Oh, BB's going to ask for more money. I don't get that he's coming here. Let's see if he's going to be just having a phone meeting. Is BB going to be having a phone meeting? Yes, it's a phone meeting. I don't feel like he's coming here. Don't hate you, it's only 58 right now at your house. Oh, it's fine. I'm glad you're comfortable. It's not terrible here. There's a nice breeze coming in. The Democrats. The Democrats are gonna do the right thing. Now the gun card is here, which indicates that they are being threatened. They are being threatened. I'm not saying something bad's going to happen with the gun, but the Democrats, they get death threats all the time. But I feel like they're devoted to, it feels like the Democrats are really, I feel like they're really looking at what's going on as a call from spirit, a call from their morality to do the right thing. And they're thinking about the people that are in there, in the hospital. So I feel like the Democrats are what's going on is going to make the Democrats really show who they really are. Really. And then the gun, even though they're under the gun, even though, Angela, come on. Can you change that? The Democrats aren't all so weak. I mean, it's like, you ever hear that saying, walk a mile in someone's shoes before you criticize them? I mean, come on. They're under death threats constantly. So is Merrick Garland, by the way. It's no excuse, maybe. But I think if it were us, I think that if you were serving in Congress as a Democrat, and I'm not making excuses, I'm just saying, we don't know unless we're in that position. And you were getting these heinous calls about what they were going to do, not only to you, but what they were going to do to your vulnerable family, and they knew everything about you, and they doxed you, and, just saying. They're human. So everyone, go a little easy. I'm not yelling at you, I'm just making a point. Maybe it sounds like I'm yelling at you. They're under the gun, they're under death threats all the time, but they're thinking about the people that are vulnerable and in the hospital, and they're going to do the right thing. And I'm pretty impressed with the performances that they've been giving that need to be given. we have to support them with our thoughts. Anyhow, let's take a look at the July. I'm trying to keep up. They sounded really strong today on the Capitol steps. Okay, good. I'm going to check that out. Threats to judges for years. There was a judge in New Jersey a few years back. I forget her name, but somebody, a disgruntled person she sent to prison. I don't know, somehow he got out. Maybe it was before he actually had to serve. Murdered her son. I mean, this is just, yeah, not just threats. Look at what happened a couple weeks ago, right? All this news, and I heard the mainstream media, you know, the horrible assassination of Holdman, the representative, and her husband in Minnesota. And the news was covering Jeff Bezos' wedding. I know, it's bad. Let's read on the protests tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow, we celebrate the 4th of July in this city tomorrow. But the No Kings protests for the 4th of July, we're going to read on them. Yeah, Bezos should pay his fair share in taxes. He shouldn't be like telling the Dutch that they need to deconstruct their bridge so his yacht can come through, and buying Venice. I mean, I don't mean to offend anyone who still shops on Amazon. I just want to tell you my experience when I see that crap is I'm so glad that I broke the addiction. It's not like I'm a shopaholic. It's just easy to order things you need from Amazon. Okay, so 4 cards about the... Josh agrees. 4 cards about 4th of July and the protests. And I just want you all to know that there's never a moment that I don't get the vibe, there's never a moment that I don't get the message that we, the people, will turn this around. Electra Storm's feeling guilty for shopping at Whole Foods. Yeah, I won't even shop at Whole Foods. I get my groceries delivered once a week from a company called Misfits Market. I recommend them if you are in an area where Misfits Market exists. Really good company. Okay, so here we go. On the 4th of July, we will see a lot of Democrats, and it's not just Democrats, a lot of Americans on the 4th of July protesting loudly. And that's kind of a gift to our democracy. And then I have the smoke in the jail cell. I think that the message becomes very clear on the 4th of July that, I don't know, maybe a lot of people are going to have signs that say lock him up. We need signs that say lock him up, I think. Because I see jail cell. I'm asking about the 4th of July protests. The smoke indicates that the MAGA is going to try to not cover it. But it's going to be happening, and I see these protests calling for the criminals for a draining of the swamp. I have to tell you, I had this vision. I walk, now I'm walking /running every day, as long as it's, not storming out. So today I was going, what is this kind of a vision that I'm having? It's a vision of like, do you ever see those shows where they discovered a sunken ship and they did the computer generated, they got to see what was under there, under the murky water? Or when a shipwreck, when the water somehow dries up and there's a shipwreck and everything's there, exposed. I was really seeing like what we're going through right now as that kind of a thing where it's like, I guess a better way to put it is like, There are areas that used to be water, bodies of water, but then somehow through different climate events, then the water just kind of went away. What's left, you can see what's there, right? That's what we're in right now. I don't know if I made any sense at all, but that's what we're in right now. It was all there, and now we see it. And now we see how it's now that they're exposed. Now they're just going for the jugular. Everyone pray for Mary. She was in an accident. Are you in the hospital? She's okay. You're going to be okay. So that's what's going on. Are we done? We might be done because you guys aren't really listening. Thank you, Zircon. Being exposed is a good thing. Like, yeah, like flood debris, but yeah, like that. Like that. But I think the reason that I had the vision that it's like when, like an old shipwreck, right? And the water dries up for some reason. The climate changes and the water dries up. I mean, these things happen. And then whatever is there is exposed because there's nothing covering it up anymore. It's taking forever to make a point. These are sweet, you're listening. Okay. Book a reading, psychic@etigon.com. Tomorrow, we'll read on a couple more things. I just want to tell you that tomorrow, I'm going to do what I did last week because there was a big festival here and it was going to be too noisy at 7. So I pre-recorded the guided meditation for Healed America that we always do live. But last week and this week, I'm going to pre-record the guided meditation for Healed America so that you can go right to it and do the meditation. All right? So we're not going to meet at 7. Amanda's listening. Thank you. Clarence is here. We'll resume meeting at 7 live on the full moon, the 10th. I think. Oh, I might be doing a moonrise party that night. The summers, things are going to change. Isn't it stronger when we do it together? But I can't. I'm going to be in a parade tomorrow night. I don't think it matters. I don't think we have to do it together for it to be really strong, You want me to do the guided meditation from the parade? I can try. It'll be interesting. I'll be here on Friday. No, I'll let you know about that. What a crazy week. I can't even figure out what day it is. Let's pull 4 cards for the collective. 4 cards from the deck of character. 1, 2, 3. Just for guidance. Call your representatives. The Capital Switchboard. The number is easy to find for the Capital Switchboard. I had it somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's in my phone, but call the Capital Switchboard. It doesn't matter that it's a holiday. We'll make it through this insanity. It's just that the entire country had to wake up. Okay, so I don't know why I have this many cards, but we have a gold mine. Interesting. The sunken ship. I was just talking about that. Guidance for the next couple days. Their ship is sinking fast. And just like I was talking about. Just like the cards knew what I was talking about. It's being exposed. Thomas has a good joke. Make sure you read it. What was camouflaged? It's like these cards are listening to me. What was camouflaged is being exposed. And exposed and bulldozed. Exposed and bulldozed with a 1-2 punch, as the MAGAs have to look at themselves in the mirror. That can't be pleasant. And I'm reading cards for us, for the collective here. And there's a gold mine for us. These cards are saying to don't quit before the win, right? We're in this for the long haul. We have to change the way that we do our democracy. It's not a spectator sport. So, will it load in the Trump diaper that will sink the boat? I don't know, but I think it's really funny that that's exactly what I was talking about, and that nobody was really listening, but because I was taking so long to say something. But it was camouflaged, but the sunken ship is now being exposed. It's being exposed and bulldozed with a 1-2 punch from the people, as they, these MAGAs have to look at themselves in the mirror. Oh my God, what are we doing? And we have a gold mine. Don't quit before we can't ever quit after this, right? Yeah, prophetic cards, right? We can't ever think about quitting our democracy ever again. From now, I think we've learned we have to always all be involved. The cards are correct. I agree. And when we're all on board and we're all activated, it's going to be huge. Huge. I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I was cranky. Clarence is glad to be back. Well, I hope you can come more often. Okay, stay cool. It's not bad here. There's a nice cool breeze coming in. Keep the faith. Tomorrow's guided meditation for a Healed America will be pre-recorded, so look under the videos for that. Friday, usually on the 4th of July, I do a channeled session where I channel the Founding Fathers. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but I'll let you know. I wasn't cranky. Thank you. I was slightly cranky. Off the Ledges every day. I'll do a PNN pop-up tomorrow. I will live stream from the parade a little bit. And I'll be telling you what I'm up to during the PNN pop-up and the Off the Ledge. Okay? Love you lots. I really need some business. So please book a session. I had to pay my rent today. It's been really tight lately, and it's very nerve-wracking. Because YouTube doesn't help me. Hardly, not compared to how much video I make. Alright. Okay. No worries. Namaste. Smile. Keep your vibration up. It's really important. Okay. Bye.